Hello. Okay, just wanted to give you a little information on a '02 PT Cruiser with a 2.4 that had an idling or stalling, running rough symptom. And what I found was also had another odd symptom was the air conditioner wouldn't work. So I did some normal scan tests, couldn't find any trouble codes. And, the vehicle, when I had it, was probably 75, 80 degrees, seemed to run normal to me. I took it and ran it down the highway for 3 miles and, back. What was odd is that when I was driving the vehicle on the highway, I tried the air conditioner and it worked. But when I got back into town, I noticed that it wouldn't work. And the idle pretty much was fine when I drove it. So anyway, what I ended up finding, again, all my tests showed really nothing abnormal. No codes. I watched the data stream, but what it ended up being was there's an idle air control solenoid, actuator, valve. You can call it a lot of different things, but what it does is it basically changes the mixture for the idle speed. Okay, this bolts into the throttle body, and on this vehicle it's a 2.4, like I said, PT Cruiser. It's kind of on the driver's side, near the on the firewall side, and it's pretty easy to get to. Visually and code-wise, I couldn't really find anything, but what I finally realized was that, when I was watching the data stream on the scanner, and if you don't have one, there's a lot of other things you can do, but I noticed that the idle speed would never change. If the engine was loaded, in other words, when you turn the air conditioner on, sitting there, just sitting at a stop in park, if you turn the air conditioner on, what would happen is it would load the engine, and the computer would want to step the idle up to compensate for the load on the engine, but the idle air control valve wouldn't function. It was basically stuck in one position that was fairly normal with no load on it, but as soon as things changed, it just wouldn't do anything. Now the computer actually recognized that this wasn't stepping up the idle, and it would just shut the air conditioning system down. So if you've run into that, there's a lot of things that can shut the air conditioning system down. If your cooling fan doesn't work, or a lot of different things, which I ended up checking a lot of things, but as it turns out, the computer was basically not letting the air conditioner engage. It would come on for maybe 5 seconds when it was just sitting in park. If it wanted to change the idle speed, it couldn't. Computer would recognize it, and it would just disengage the compressor. So the air conditioner basically wouldn't work in town. Now going down the highway, the idle speed and the RPMs were up because I was going 75 miles an hour. That was recognized as a fast enough speed, engine speed wise, and it let the air conditioner actually function. So that was kind of strange. But when it was cold in the morning on him, I guess it didn't do it for me, but it would cause a rough idle when it was cold, because things wouldn't change. When you steer the vehicle, that loads the engine. So a lot of different variables involved for engine speed, and this thing was just stuck in one position. So if you run into that, keep that in mind, and maybe with a little bit of time, you can figure out what's going on, and this will help you in that situation. It's probably similar to a lot of other different engines and vehicles, but this one was on an '02 PT Cruiser. It's a Chrysler 2.4, and so good luck with that. Thanks for watching.